Crystalites, welcome back to my video. My name is Crystal and this is Crystal Display. So guys, in today's video we're going to do a faith planning recap session for the third quarter. If you're ready for today's video, then let's just jump straight in. Okay guys, so I'm going to use my spiritual planner workbook to do this faith planning session. If you've been on my channel for a long time, you know all about the faith planning session. I'll leave the playlist down below. Guys, so we're going to do the tracking section first. So I've started to use my spiritual planner workbook in August, so I only have a bit of data from July and a little bit from August and September, which cover the third quarter, right? So let us start. So we have the 5-layer rule. You guys know about it. If you haven't, I'll link the playlist in the description box. It's just a system, a reward habit tracker system that I use personally myself to help me to stay on track and all that jazz. But as you can see, in August it was all over the place, in shambles just a little bit. But just to give you guys an idea of what I've been tracking, in August we have bedtime by 12, right? 12 a.m. I'm supposed to put a.m. here. So I got to bed around 12. Praying scripture was initially tracked in August. Speaking scripture was also tracked. Moving my body, reading a Christian novel, waking up early, so between 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. praying verbally out, prayer journal. And then I think towards the end of August I've added, you know, going outside, exploring, and doing a hobby. So that was August. And as you can see, I've passed, anytime I do at least 5 in a row, that's level 1, right? So I've passed level 1 for praying scripture and speaking scripture. For reading a novel, I'm at level 2 because I've done about 10 of it, right? And then even waking up early, I've been doing well. Praying verbally, doing well. So all that. So that was August, right? Going outside, as I said, this was just me just starting tracking my thing, officially using my spiritual, using my habit tracker and all that. So it was very new to me. But September is a lot more organized. So let me show you guys that. Okay, because I realized I was tracking too much. I need to be a bit more intentional. So for September, as I said, bed by 12 a.m. or around 12, right? And then biblical affirmation, that's all about speaking scripture over yourself, over my identity. And I kind of touch on that. I've even created a product called a scripture mirror where I use personally to track speaking scripture, but soon it will be available back on my shop. It's just I'm trying to reorganize my shop and all that jazz. So we have moving your body, so that is just simply I start to do running, just running up the stairs, which is kind of not too complicated, but also get my blood flowing, really, right? So yeah, and then reading, still ongoing struggle sometime. They have prior journaling and then trying a hobby. So where can I start? So with moving the body, that was initially intimidating. It took a lot for me to, as you can see in August, I didn't do very well in August, but in September I decided to make it easy to move my body. Usually I would follow a workout plan, but this time I'm just running, which that makes it a lot more easier for me. Reading, coming along. I've done past level 1 because I've done at least 5. So overall in September, sorry, it's about 6. Prior journaling, not too well. In August I did a lot better, but in September not very well. And then trying a hobby. Currently my hobby, I didn't track singing, but I did track baking, right? So I've baked a lot. As you can see, I've baked about 6 times within the month, right? And we'll touch on that, what's my favorite cake at the moment and what recipe do I follow. But yeah, so I've been baking non-stop. Singing, I do love singing as well. That's always been my passion. So yeah, so that's the habits that I've been tracking. Nothing too complicated. And then you're going to see why I don't track everything on this. I track at least 1 2 3 4 5 6, just 6. And wherever I need more prompting, I would like literally put an asterisk or an arrow to remind me to, like, you know, you need to work on it. So yeah, but if you are interested in like knowing more about the 5-relay rule and habit tracking and all that, I'll link, you know, the whole launch that I did in my description box. So we have here the mood tracker. So if you know, I've launched the spiritual planner workbook in August, and so hence why this is a bit blank. I feel like I've missed half of the year just because of me just getting officially being able to like use my product and all that. I've worked on it for like about a good year or so, or almost a year, but using it itself, it only started like August, September. Yeah, so yeah, that's why this chunk is like missing, but next year I'll be a lot more prepared. Okay, all right, so mood, these are the keys that I'm currently using. So pink is like joyful, content. That dark green there is for miserable, so that means like if I'm feeling ill or just feeling miserable for the day, you know. And then we have that color there for energize. This one is for tired, fatigue, burnout, overwhelmed or anxious, sad, frustrated or angry, stressed, and discouraged. So those are like the main emotions that I tend to experience either on a daily or altogether, not altogether, but like, you know, it regulates. These are the main emotions for me. So let's look at August, guys. Right, so August, purple, tired. So as you can see, it's mostly purple and pinks. Purple and pinks is like tired, fatigue, burnout, and joyful or content, right? So as you can see, it's mostly that. A few yellow is like discouragement. Orange is a bit anxious. Sometimes you can see, look at this day, the 14th was just 4 emotions. As sometimes, you know, some days I have like multiple emotions, but yeah, that's that. September, we have purple again, a lot of purples and pinks, but there was also a few like not feeling well as well moments. And then energized, so I have like a few energizing moments. So yeah, so that's been my September. So the prior tracker now, so this is really about, you know, I use this as a combination with my prior Bible, right? So when I say about, you know, it's all about praying also, but mostly about praying scripture. So this is, you know, praying scripture and praying join into one tracker, right? So green is for myself, and I put here as a reminder to pray over my mind, my identity, my spiritual gates, which is like my eyes, my ears, body, and all that, right? I'll do like a whole video on it explaining what the spiritual gates are. Then we have purple, husband and marriage. Then pink is children and home. Red is like any prior list. So if, for example, I've written down like a list of things that I want to, you know, that's necessary to pray for, then, or like a request from someone, then yeah. Then we also have a prior challenge. So for example, if I've decided to just focus on praising God for the day, or, you know, actually taking the prior challenge that I've created, which is the spell a word prior challenge, which I've shown previously in previous videos. So yeah, so that's the main thing. I'm not tracking too much things, right? Praying verbally, I don't track that because I do pray almost every day or most days in my mind, so I don't track that. But praying scripture, I am more intentional in tracking that. So as you can see, blues, I've done a lot of challenge. The blacks are the ones, the days that I've missed. So yeah, so August, as you can see, these don't really count because I don't think I've intentionally, did I intentionally track, or maybe I did, don't remember. But yeah, as you can see, August was not good. Okay, August was not good. This was just me getting started. Greens, okay, husband, and marriage. Reds is like requests. So yeah, pink, children and home. So in October I'm gonna be more intentional in praying for my family specifically. So yeah, but I've yet to show you guys like my whole prayer schedule and all that jazz, so stay tuned to that. All right, so we have September, and as you can see, blues, challenges, green and red, husband or marriage, requests, pink. So you can see I think I've done a lot better in September praying scripture. Then we have here the devotional tracker. So this is just me, really, my own personal opinion on how my devotion went with God. So yeah, so you see, so let's say 1 star is like literally hardly have any time, wasn't really focused and all that. 5 is like really focused, really engaged. It was enriching. Yeah, just I really enjoyed it basically. And then in between, like say for example 2, 3, not very good, limited time, yeah, unfocused and all that. And then just 4 stars like average. It was good, yeah. So in August we can see here, it started out with a 3 star, so I probably didn't have much time. 2, you can see a few oranges, pinks, we could see a few pinks, so that's good. Few days I've missed or so in August, but that's fine. But for the most part I've been consistent in August. September, blues, so that's good. Loads of pinks, wow. And then some blues, that's good. And then some bad days as well. You see 1 orange there. I've missed like 1, 2, 3 days so far in September. At the time I'm filming this, it's the 29th, so yeah, but I'm sure I'll cover these, so no worries there. But yeah, so that's it. My devotional was overall good, overall good. Hardly, the good thing is I haven't seen any yellow, so that is very good. Right, then we have rate my day, and this is just like overall general how my day went. Did I feel it was productive? So this is my rating. 1 star, not a good day, extremely horrible day. Then yellow is like really good day, I was really productive, I was in a good mood, and the day went as according and all that. And then orange is like an average. 4 star is like an average day. The red is like it was all right, not too great, not too, it was just in the, not that great basically. And then 2 star, along with these two just combined, not a good day. So August, you could see, so I only started tracking literally the 8th, right? So yeah, so that's why they're black there. And then I started to track, so we have a few bad days, as you can see. 3rd, yellow, a lot of productive days, so that's good. September, a lot of productive days. I mean, I've had like 1, 2 bad days, but that's all right. You're not gonna always have like a good and perfect day, right? And then we have here the highlight and gratitude that I've just decided to create my own template, just learning how to be thankful to God and all that jazz. So that is that. And then I'll move on to the spiritual growth list. So spiritual growth list, these are the resources that I've used in the 3rd quarter. So we have the Layman's Bible Dictionary. Even YouTube channels can also be added. I forgot to add Alan Parr YouTube channel for his Master My Faith challenge. I've done that. Then I did like a David Guzak YouTube channel studying the book of Proverbs. Then we have the Life Application Study Bible, the Believers Bible Commentary, New Hunger's Bible Dictionary as well. Every Moment Holy prayer book, so I've used that. I've recently used my own doxology guide where I show you guys how to pray doxologies and all that, but it's still in the process of making officially and launching, so stay tuned to that on my shop. And then we have here the IVP Bible background commentary, so I did use that in September, I don't remember the date exactly. Then we have the prayer Bible. I use that, I would say I'd use it mostly right together, so I put that there. And then we have the Open Doors Prayer Diary, the September edition. And then we have God is My CEO, a prayer journal for entrepreneurs. So I'm just trying out like a prayer journal for like business owners, because I bought it long ago and I wasn't really using it, but now I'm just starting to use it as well. So those are my resources officially that I have remembered to track and are currently that I've used in September, in August, and all that jazz. All right, so I wanted to show you guys as well what I've been using to keep myself accountable every time I do my Bible reading. So since we're covering the third quarter, I managed to, because I was using this all along, so this is my quiet time planner. It's like a little template that I use alongside my spiritual planner workbook. And as you can see, each time I do my quiet time, I just write it down basically. And if I didn't do any quiet time, it's literally empty. So that's what I did for like July. I've kind of explained like the color code system and all that, so yeah. But yeah, this is my overall view of July. All right, so this is August. As you can see, low, medium, high, and this is just based on how I'm feeling energy level wise. So this is my overall August that I've done. The dashes, I just put dash there to just say that I didn't do it, I missed the day. But yeah, this is my overall for August. And then we have September. So yeah, so that's low, medium. I didn't do any coloring this time, I literally just filled it out. And this is my quick snap overview for what I've done. So this is what I really use to keep myself accountable. So every time I do my Bible reading, or I use my prayer Bible, or listen to a sermon, I just use this to track, to see what I'm doing, to see and look back what I've done and all that jazz. Alright guys, so this is another template that I've used using the dot grid template provided. So I call it one a day, and it's just one lesson that I've learned each and every day when I am doing my quiet time, right? Guys, excuse the background noise. But yeah, August, the biggest lesson I've learned in August is to live your life prayerfully like Daniel. That's the biggest lesson I've learned for August. The biggest lesson I've learned for September, now that one was a hard one, but it's just I recently learned this one, is spiritual growth comes when you learn to know God better and better, right? And the key point is in Colossians 1 verse 9 to 10. When I tell you guys, like this, if I had known this from the beginning of when I first got saved, I wish I had known that. So I'm literally taking my time and my journey to get to know God's character, and I'm gonna discuss all this in my 2026 plan yet again. And I've even I'm gonna mention the favorites as well that I've watched that really inspire me, that you don't need to rush scripture at all. You just need to take your time and get to know God for yourself in an intimate way. So yeah, so this is what I've kind of done. So I do a one a day, every single month. So yeah, those are like the two major lessons. In July, I don't remember. I would say in July, I was focusing on Psalms 23 a lot. So learning to rest in God, and what does it mean to rest in God? I would say that would be the biggest lesson in July. So usually you would have done a fruit of the spirit self-assessment, but I won't be doing that this year, but I will be doing it next year if God's willing. But this is just a fruit of the spirit assessment where you self-assess yourself. If you're living according, if those fruits are being produced in your life. And then also we have the spiritual discipline assessment. I won't be doing that this year either, but I'll be focusing on it more next year. So these are like the 18 spiritual disciplines that you can focus in and all that. If you haven't gotten your notebook or your spiritual planner workbook, please go ahead. So now this is where the faith planning recap session begin. So as you can see here, we have the third quarter reflection, and this is from July to September. So as I'm asking this question, answer as well for yourself. So for me, this is what I'm sharing from my personal life. So what was the biggest win these past 3 months? I didn't realize I had a lot of wins, right? And I just give God thanks, really, to be honest. But just reflection is really important. As a Christian, it's very important to reflect on your journey. How are you growing and all that? So my biggest win is that I started exercising, while before I wasn't. I was not exercising at all. Exercising who did not see me. But now I've started. And I'm just super grateful that I've actually started, and that's running, right? I've also signed up to becoming a prayer partner for an organization, which I kind of mentioned that I'm really happy because that will really push me into dedicating myself to prayer as well. I've also created my prayer schedule, official prayer schedule. So I'm excited to start, and I've kind of started a little bit, but it's still just trying to get the routine and the timing right is what kind of holding me back. But yeah, I've done a open door prayer session where I just focus on the organization Open Door, and they have little, they have their prayer diary that they give out every month or so, and even their magazine. So I use their prayer diary to pray, and I did a whole session. I think it was a one-off session, but I am proud of that because it takes discipline to pray if you haven't figured it out already. Then I did attend I did a virtual, right? I watched a video about Master My Faith Challenge by Alan Parr. It was really good. Day one was very good. So I really liked that. And then I've created some new Bible plans, which I kind of briefly introduced to you guys. But it's just to work on it. So I did a Bible World Tour, a little reading plan. I have a marriage one, and I kind of mentioned it in my weekend basket. So I'll link that video in the description box if you want all the details. And then I relaunched my spiritual planner workbook in August. I was nervous, but I felt like it was ready. It was finally ready, and it was, official. So yeah, so that's what I'm using now to do the reflection. I've done a spiritual growth masterclass. Guys, if you want to know or jumpstart your Christian life, please go ahead and watch that spiritual growth masterclass. Make sure that you have your snack, make sure you have your drink, and sit down and relax and watch all the lessons that I've learned for 17 years of Christendom, basically. But yeah, and then another win, which was a surprising win that happened, was that I was asked to be a moderator for online Zoom thing. And also I was also a speaker. They asked me to be to speak on a word. So yeah, I was nervous, to be honest. I know that I speak on YouTube, but it was very nerve-wracking, but I did well. So I'm just glad to know that the feedback was positive. So I moderated one time, and then I also spoke another time. So that was very interesting. It's funny how God used your gifts even when you don't really want to use those gifts, right? All right, next question is, what went less well these past 3 months? All right, these past 3 months I've been emotional wreck. As you can see in my mood tracker, I've been tracking my emotion, but I haven't been addressing my emotions. And what do I mean by addressing? So addressing means, investigating the reason why you're feeling that way, praying scripture for that specific emotion for that day, or just taking practical steps to address those emotions. And it's not like I didn't have the tool to do it, it's just I forgot to use it. So yeah, because I have like this little rescue plan thing that have all my negative emotions, and I kind of list some little to-dos to do to like overcome those emotions. But I realized that I've just been going with emotion, and I haven't really been addressing them properly. So that's where I fell short. Second thing is that I was struggling with my self-care, to be honest. Like, I wasn't really, I was doing the basics, but I wasn't like getting adequate sleep, looking after my feet, all that. So, but I'm on track now, thank God. And I have to be disciplined in going to bed at least by 12 o'clock, right? Some days I do give myself blind, but I just try to say that because I realize that if I don't sleep enough, then it affects my mood. So I really do need to go to bed early and get enough sleep. And then next one is, I guess, inconsistent journaling. I haven't really been doing that because I realize that if I don't journal for a good while, let's say for example the end of the month, I'm just journaling, that's all that emotion pent up. So I need to release that on paper, right? So I need to work on those things. So those are like, I would say overall, that's what went less well, right? But God has truly blessed me in a miraculous way, especially for my family. And yeah, we're doing well, right? So I'm just grateful. But yeah, then what were your anchor scriptures for this quarter? So for July and August, I've been focusing on Psalms 23, just literally doing an in-depth study on Psalms 23, dwelling like what does it mean to rest by still waters and all that. And then in September, which we're in now, I'm focused on, well, the one that stood out the most to me is 1 Corinthians 10. And then the main scripture is 1 Corinthians 10 verse 31. So that's what stood out to me the most, right? Then we have here, what were your obstacles or distractions that you encountered these past 3 months? So, some of it is a bit embarrassing, but anyway, it's fine. We all know YouTube is my distractions, but specifically I've just been watching ASMR gym chalk videos. I don't know, initially they were saying that it was good for like releasing stress, so I was watching it, and then before you know it, I was addicted to it. So yeah, but no, I realized that it's taking my time that I could have done, could be doing something else. So it's not a productive way for me to manage my time. Next obstacle or distraction that I've encountered is burnout. Guys, I am so burnt out. That's why I'm not producing as much content as I could, right? I want to, but I physically am burnt out. So I'm planning to do like a detox. I don't know if I'm trying, hopefully, if in the future I can batch content and then schedule them out. So let's hope and pray that, because I really need the break. I should have taken the break from July, but I pushed myself, and then now we're in October soon, and yeah, insufficient sleep was an obstacle because in moments where I do want to do things, but I was too tired. So yeah, I just need to work on getting more sleep, and in that way it'll be more of a positive cycle. Then we have high phone and TV consumption. As I said, because I'm watching these videos, yeah, my phone consumption is through the roof. TV consumption is, well, I'm mostly watching like different programs, like like TV programs on TV. So yeah, But yeah, those are my distractions, guys. How did I overcome them? Some of them are not addressed, some of them are. So burnout, taking intentional rest, doing hobbies that bring back joy. So I'm baking now, singing to my worship music, practicing thankfulness, asking for prayer in community, because I have like this WhatsApp group that my friend started called the Praying Wife Club. So I ask for prayer in that. And then we have for sleep now, it's just literally going to bed early. I don't know what I have against sleep, but yeah, I need to work on that. Taking naps, I do take naps. Sometimes I even try to fight the sleep, but the sleep wins. So yeah, that's that. And then we have phone. So I initially was looking at my watch time, which did help, but then eventually, I don't know what happened, it just didn't work. I was gonna replace my watch time, my time that I spend on my phone, my screen time, sorry. So I looked at my screen time and I was like, oh man, it's really high. So I was gonna replace that with Bible reading, but I don't know what happened in the mix, but it ended up just not working. But I'm gonna work on it. In October if God's willing. But yeah. And then we have, so my plan hopefully is to detox for 31 days in October and replace that with in-depth Bible study and also just reading books, right? So I'm trying to just replace that, just cut myself off dry from YouTube for a bit. I'll still be producing videos, that's the plan, but I won't be watching any because I just need a detox, a full on detox. I haven't done one in a while, guys. And yeah, that's the plan, as I can see here. YouTube detox for 31 days. All right, so in terms of like any new findings or favorites this quarter, I had a lot. Guys, I had a lot. One, I've created few favorites. So one is like the Daily Bread Cafe Bible study menu. If you haven't watched that, go ahead and watch it. I'll link it in the description box. But that has been one of my favorite projects where I literally put the fun element into Bible study, right? It was really fun for me to create it, and now it's a part of my weekend basket. Then we have here the Voice of Hope Premier magazine. As you guys know, I've been looking for Christian magazines that are gonna help build my faith, and so I highly recommend the Voice of Hope Premier magazines. And I think they have like a radio station named Premier, and yeah, I'll try and put their information or their website down below in the description box. But yeah, then we have Open Doors Prayer Diary. Guys, the September edition is fire. When I actually had the time, sat down, prayed through them, read through them, it was really touching. Like when I tell you touching, and I'm just praying that God just move for those people. Yeah, it was really good. And then we have, of course, the Spiritual Planner Workbook. The section that I would like to highlight is the 1 line a day lesson, right? So I created that in there, right? Because I wanted to not just read my Bible, I want to know what is the lesson. What did I learn from it? What can I apply? How can I live it out? So that's why I created the 1 line a day template, right? Which anyone can do using the dot grid template. And then we have, so some of the favorites food wise is baking. Guys, I told you guys I was baking. So my favorite flavor cake is banana and blueberry, and I've just been following I think Preppy, his name is, I was following his recipe because I typed up banana cake and his video popped up, so I watched it. So I followed the banana recipe and I just add blueberries to it, and I made that for my birthday cake in September, and it was amazing. Everybody loved it. When I bake, the cake only lasts 2 days, and I'm telling you, a big cake, right? But it was so good. So that's my favorite flavor right now, banana and blueberry cake. Then we have my favorite in my prayer Bible is praying doxologies. guys, I kind of did like a whole video on it, so I'll try and link that video. The last video I mentioned about praying Bible ideas, but that's one of them. When I tell you doxology, praying doxology has truly changed my mindset. Wow, it was very powerful. So I had to put that in the favorites. My favorite show that I love, and I'm very sad that it ended, right? But it's only season 1 that I watch. So yeah, I think they're currently working on season 2, hopefully soon. So this one is a biblical show, and this one is called Testament. Guys, when I tell you, they stay true to scripture. Like, I highly recommend it. I think they're on Angel Gill or something like that, right? But they have like a whole YouTube channel called Testament, and they were posting the episodes for 24 hours, and then after that it disappears. But it was so amazing. It really put my interest even more into the book of Acts, and it really showed like how exactly the church started, and it was just amazing. Music, I'm a big music lover, if you guys don't know already. I have a whole playlist, and I'll link that playlist, Exodus Promise Mood Booster, down below in the description box. But guys, these are my favorite music so far. So it's Ariel Fitz, so she's a YouTuber, and I love her song Under the Sun. Like, when I tell you, I played on repeat almost every single day. Then the next one, even though it's not even Christmas, but I still listen to it. It's called Anatoria, right? She's the artist. And the song is called Hark Now Hear. When I tell you, Chef Kiss, I love that. I love that music. And then we have Bjorn Pierre, and his song Ups and Down. Oh my gosh, I just heard it and I just love it. I love the whole rhythm of it. It kind of reminds me of Jamaica vibes. I don't know, but it is very relatable, talking about life being up and down. And it was just a really good song, right? And then the last one is called Safety by Blanca and Called Out Music. I love that music. I don't know, there's something about it that brings joy. Like, if you're looking for a song that lifts your mood, Safety is gonna lift your mood, right? But yeah. All right, so what are some of the fun elements that you've added to your quiet time, for this quarter? So what I've done, I've created and decorated my spiritual planner workbook, right? I've decorated it. I think I did like a brief peek of how it looks now, right? Especially the Bible study guide. I did like a whole Bible study decoration, Bible study guides, because the spiritual planner workbook has that section. And then I think the front page here, I've just decorated, right? The next thing I did was I created like a Bible study or Bible reading Bible plan called the Bible World Tour, and that's just you traveling through the Bible basically, right? So that was a fun element for me, really excited. And I think I did stop 1, stop 2, but I need to finish it. But it was really interesting. I get to learn about the different countries, what it was called back in the ancient days and what it is now, and all that. So it was really fun. And then I look at maps and all that. So it was just really me going Bible nerd basically. Then we have created my new prayer schedule to go with my prayer Bible, which stay tuned to that video. And then I created a fun quiet time too. So I kind of revamped the name. Some people call it Faith Basket. I just call it my weekend basket because I use it mostly on the weekend. Obviously, I am not just gonna use it on weekend, but it's mainly for the weekend. Hence why I call it the weekend basket. But it has all the fun things that I want to do, things that I haven't really done in a while, but I want to do. So I put it in the basket. So yeah. And then I have like the Bible study menu, which I kind of mentioned in the videos before that. And then I also just created like unique Bible reading plans that I don't really see anywhere else, but I wanted to just, make it unique, make it different. And those are some of the fun elements I've added to my quiet time this quarter. All right, so what are you looking forward to the most in your quiet time or your faith for next quarter? So for the fourth quarter, this is what I'm planning to do, or this is the aim anyway. So I want to use my Bible study guide. It's a part of my spiritual planner workbook, but for some reason I've been using it, but not sufficient. I want it to be a part of my Bible study, right? It's almost as if I had forgotten it because it's at the back. But yeah, I'm aiming to use that for the fourth quarter. Then not only that, I'm gonna use, if you guys remember my Daily Grace Code notebooks, so it's called the Story of Redemption notebook. So I'm planning to bring that back. I bought it years ago for my birthday. I hardly use it, but now I feel like I'm ready to use it now because I'm going through specific books of the Bible, specifically Songs of Songs, right? With my WhatsApp group. So yeah, I'm going to be using the notebook for that, right? Making detailed notes, studying Song of Songs for a month. Yeah, for a whole month. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. If a month goes well, then I'll stretch it to 3 months. But I've watched a video, I forgot to even mention. That video changed my life, literally. It was an interview with another YouTuber. I'll try and put the video on the screen to show you guys, but you definitely need to watch it. It opened my eyes when it comes to Bible study, when it comes to Bible reading, that you don't need to rush. You can take it slow. You can dwell on the word, like truly meditate on the word. You don't need to be trying to finish reading the Bible in a year, every single year. You don't need to do that. You can abide in just a book, right? And it doesn't have to be just for a month. It can be 3 months. It could be 6 months. It could be a whole year just on one book, right? And when you do that, you're gonna really enjoy the richness of scripture. And that's why I said that interview changed my life. It just reminded me that, why are you rushing? What's the race? Why are you running? Trying to read the Bible, the whole Bible again in a year. Just dwell. All you do is dwell. When you dwell, there's more richness, more goodness that you can get. Like I always see in Psalms 119, where it talks about how sweet scripture is. And I can see from the interview that he truly tastes and see the goodness of God because he dwell on a specific book. You don't need to rush, right? Because when you rush, you miss a lot of things. But when you slow down, you can see and taste the sweetness of scripture and see the character of God. So that's what the intention is, right? So what I've been doing or aiming to do is I've just been, instead of me watching the ASMR videos, I would play Colossians, right? I wouldn't say I'm perfect at it, but I've started already because I'm trying to rope myself into that behavior or that habit for October. So just playing over Colossians over and over again on the audio Bible. I want to do, or aiming to do, a in-depth study on Song of Songs because it's about marriage, right? It's about love between married people, and I want to dive deeper in it. The church has not really spoken, or I've never really heard the church spoke about this, and I would love to know more. What is the biblical way or format how God sees marriage? So yeah, I'm excited to do it with the Praying Wife Club. And then my reading now, I would say just one book called How to Raise Children for Christ by Andrew Murray. I found a audio book on it on the YouTube channel, so I did already share it in the community tab, so look out if you're interested to read alongside with me. But my plan is to play the video as I am either played audible but also try and, have the Kindle version of it. So read along basically. So that way I can stay focused and be more engaged. All right. So in terms of spiritual disciplines, as I said, I'm not going to really look at the assessment for this quarter, for the fourth quarter at all, but I will start afresh next year if God's willing. But the spiritual disciplines that I'm just going to focus on, zooming on, is prayer, of course, Bible reading, Bible study, and resting. Those are like the 4 spiritual disciplines that I'm just going to focus on. I'm not going to try and overcomplicate anything else. These are the main foundation steps that I'm going to be focusing on. Mostly prayer and, Bible study and Bible reading, and practicing resting, and you guys know fasting as well. I'm gonna try and incorporate that back once a week and all that jazz. So all right, so coming along, guys. So what are the 3 things that you're believing God to do for the fourth quarter? So write down what you're believing God for. Of course, some of these are personal, so that's why I'm not sharing it, but I'll share one. Is to draw close to God. Like, I want to draw so close to God that I know where He's leading me. I feel like I'm just lost. One time I said to Mom, when I was expressing my feeling, I said, I feel like I'm lost in space. I don't know if you guys have ever felt like that. And I feel like when you draw closer to God, He will lead you, like literally like a shepherd. So I just praying and hoping that I would draw close to God, just as the scripture says, when you draw close to God, He will draw close to you. And then anything else that you would like to share. So this is just an extra bonus space if you want to share. So these are what I want to share, is that my plan is to finish at least 1 book for the fourth quarter, which I kind of mentioned already. How to Raise Children for Christ by Andrew Murray. In October, I'm highly looking forward to, so it's October the 15th to the 17th, and it's a virtual event, right? And it's called the Blessed Bible Journaling Conference. I've signed up to their email list, so when the event is launching, they will send a link. And I think I attended, was it last year? And it was really, really good. So if anybody is a Bible journaling fan, please sign up to the Blessed Bible Journal Conference. I'll try and link their YouTube channel in the description box. And then in October, if you remember what I said in January, October is the time to plan for 2026. Don't wait till January to plan, right? Because you're going to feel very overwhelmed. So if you haven't made your plan to, regarding your faith, regarding your personal life, go ahead and do it now. October is the time. You have 3 months before January comes, right? So in October, I'm planning to do a New Year plan and review. Remember when I said to you guys, October, plan 3 months before January, because in January everybody's hyped, everybody's excited, and you don't want to overwhelm yourself. You want to take your time to think, what is going to grow my faith? What is going to help me to grow personally? How am I going to stay connected to God throughout the year? And all that jazz. And then in November, looking forward to November, if you are a Kindle girly or a ebook girly, right? November the 18th to the 22nd of this year, right, is Stuff My Kindle Day, specifically for Christian content. So Christian books, guys, Christian ebooks for free. So I've already signed up to the email list. I'm gonna see if I can try to link I've already shared it in my community tab. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reshare it in the community tab. So if anybody is an ebook person and you're looking for Christian ebooks, then please sign up, right? Then we have December, right? Every year I said the same thing, but I said, nope, this year is going to be different. So for December, I'm gonna put up my Christmas tree December 1st. So that way I have a whole month to enjoy my Christmas tree, right? So yeah, that's the plan. Because what happened previous years, I would put it last near to like just before Christmas. And then before you know it, you have to pack it all up and, you know, bring it down. So I did not like that. So I want to be able to enjoy my decorations at least for a month. So yeah, that's it, guys. So that is the faith planning session. I really hope you guys enjoy it. I did. And I really hope and pray that God will be with us in our planning. As scripture says that we can plan everything, but God is the one that establishes it. So pray as you're planning, invite God in that planning process.